Coming 30 years after the original, Odd Couple 2 was released in 1998 and was a movie that I just never got round to seeing at all. This is number 105 in the Imprint collection, and it's all about the returning actors of Jack Lemmon, Walter Matthau as Felix and Oscar, two cantankerous old men that just don't get along.
You are dead.
30 years later on from the first movie, they still have those little quirks that drive each other crazy. The kind of crux this time around is we have these two guys whom, as life would have it, threw them a curveball by having their son and daughter fall in love and want to get married. These guys have a couple of days to make it to the small town where they're going to be married, and they decide to carpool together. You know, jump in the same car, travel there, and wouldn't you believe it, all kinds of crazy shenanigans happen on the way there. Now, the first Odd Couple is a damn masterpiece in my eyes. I absolutely adore it. I love the film. I think it's tremendous, and it's layered. You get wonderful characters that are really quirky and different, who are dealing with real world problems. They're three-dimensional because they have these issues that they're trying to overcome, these pressures on their psyche, on their emotions, that's causing them to act out in different ways, that's making them sort of hard to adjust to from other people. You know, we're dealing with Felix's breakup at the start. We're dealing with Oscar being alone and looking for some kind of companionship, but also realising he doesn't want it as well. Trying to deal with the next step in their life that they're going to have. But there doesn't seem to be a rich thematic like that in the second one. It almost feels travelling from A to B. Things will happen on the way. But it does have Jack Lemmon and Walter Matthau, who are a wonderful pairing of actors that just bounce off each other and create a great double team. Flipping from straight man to comedic performer, they take turns in having moments to show off, and it's incredibly fun. You get that wonderful score back again, you get the screenplay by Neil Simon, you feel as if it's touching all the bases that the original had, but it doesn't really have that backup punch to make it impactful, to make it something that's going to last long.
Not mine.
It's a fun, easy watch, but it's nothing really more than that. Whereas the first one is, yes, a fun, easy watch, but it feels as if you're getting something a little bit more out of it, a little bit more richer, something to be mined in that original movie that you don't really get here. The situations are pretty fun. And although these guys have aged 30 years since we last saw them, they're acting much like they did in the original movie as well. Oscar's still playing cards, Jack Lemmon is still divorced and struggling to deal with all his little strange quirks that he has. And even though they do kind of, I say rehash, but homage some of the original kind of funny scenes in the original, it doesn't feel fresh. It doesn't feel new. It feels something that's kind of stuck at a certain time and place, and it's struggling to break free of that, struggling to update these guys to make them a little bit more relatable. They just seem to be relying on the same jokes that they had the 30 years prior movie. Not a bad thing, but The Odd Couple 2 was enjoyable, but it's hard to live up to a masterpiece like the first one, which is, you know, a daunting task. To make a movie that is watchable and enjoyable is great. It just, compared to that original, just doesn't live up to it. I enjoyed The Odd Couple, not as much as I do love the original, but I would love to know your opinion of this movie. If you've seen it, what did you think of it? Do you differ from my opinion? Let me know in the comment box. I'm always happy to hear someone else's opinion. It's always good to let other people reading the comments see an alternative opinion or an agreeable one as well. As always, there's more content up here. You can see more of my stuff. And if you click that like button below the screen, all kinds of magic happens. It's just wonderful. You don't know about it, but it's amazing. And you can join me on Patreon or the membership program if you want to see more of my stuff. Thanks for watching. I'll see you next time on Man v Film.